So after reading through some of your guys' nice, reassuring, productive, heartfelt, genuine, constructive comments on my last video about the skate park, I figured it was time to take matters into my own hands. We clearly have some spots that need a little bit of work, some more so than others. Hi, buddy. It looks like you have an ankle monitor around your neck. We got some screws sticking up, some slight delamination here and there throughout the park. Again, some of it's a lot worse than others, like that is pretty minor in the grand scheme of things, but still stuff that I want to fix up. Just a little bit of lumpiness and unevenness, but then again, who isn't a little bit lumpy and uneven? Some lifting up there, some lifting up there. We have a decent crack right there that's actually collecting some nuts, just like me. And the biggest one, I'm trying to find like an angle to show you guys, but right there, it's like heavily lifting up and delaminating. It's a little bit easier to see if you get off to the side here, but the grass is in the way. Oh yeah, look at me getting my hands dirty. That's right, picking grass all by ourselves. That is not good, and it is not supposed to be doing that whatsoever. So the thing is, I'm not scared of manual labor. I'm just scared, look, it doesn't even exist. I'm scared of doing the manual labor wrong, and half of the screws already snapped straight down the middle. My goal for today is essentially to go through and replace, see look, none of the screws are grabbing because the wood underneath rotted. Exhibit A. See the issue there? I think I am still gonna go through and just sink them all in just enough, because that's like one of my biggest fear. Get in there! None of them are grabbing, dude. One of my biggest fears ever since I was a kid, whenever I'm skating like a wooden park or a wooden mini ramp, is sliding and having my skin catch a screw sticking out. It is like terrifying in every aspect of life. And I mean, we look pretty good. I just want to go over and double check everything and then maybe jack this up, organize those. Honestly, probably take these two pieces of skate light off and just look underneath to kind of see what's going on there. Two things I wanted to address after reading the nice heartfelt comments on the last skate park video. Two things. The park used to be tarped and the grass used to be green. All of this was tarped. The little snake run down there wasn't tarped. I didn't have enough tarps for that. But I do have these sprinklers that go all the way around the yard, and some pop up and go this way because obviously that was grass beforehand. So we tarped this. The sprinklers would shoot off and Eventually, because the great state of California is in a drought, we got hit with water restrictions and couldn't use any water outside, like any watering water. We couldn't water the grass or the plant or anything for 2 weeks. We just legally could not. And everything died. So we untarped the ramp, which leads me to part 2 of my rant. Skate light. So a lot of people think this is masonite. You are wrong. It is skate light. For those of you that don't know, skate light is a miracle material. We love skate light. It's essentially what all of like the outdoor parks at Woodward, all the outdoor wood parks are made out of. It's essentially weatherproof for like 10, 20 years. People use it for cutting boards because it's almost like invincible. Like it is the miracle material. Because the whole park is surfaced with skate light, technically it's safe to be untarped, especially in somewhere like California where it very rarely rains. But there's one problem with that. While the outer shell of the skate park is all skate light and weather/waterproof, the little itty bitty cracks are not. So water will go in there, hit the plywood underneath, and then do bad things. The main reason I wanted to address that is because I was getting a lot of comments being like, oh, little privileged kid has a skate park and he didn't tarp it. Like, it is technically allowed to be in weather because skate light is such an amazing material, and shout out to skate light and Keen Ramps for making it possible. That's the only reason I could afford it in the first place. Would it have lasted longer fully tarped? Yes, but when I'm using it multiple times throughout the day, sometimes I'll skate it at night, tarping and untarping became pretty impractical, especially since it's all covered with a weather/waterproof material such as skate light. That doesn't make any sense. I'm making this longer than it needs to be. Essentially where I'm going with this is, yes, eventually the plywood underneath will need to be replaced, or parts of it will. This will always be chill, and today I want to go through and fix what I can. Now, the issue that I'm running into are screws like this. What is happening over there? Come on. Come on. You really think they'd make magnetic bits, huh? They do, but you'd think that I'd own them, and I don't. Ah, yes! There you are! So many of the screws that I try to tighten down have already snapped, which I mean, I need to replace them, the end. So, you see that? Starting with the mini ramp, I'm gonna go through and kind of run my fingers along any screws and tighten down as much as I can anything that may be sticking up, and try to just like compress everything, because it's been, you know, over a year since it's had any touch-up, so I figure it's go time. Okay, so I see a lot of the problem. So, just went over just about everything here, and even just all of that looks better, except for that. Each one of those without a screw in it were already broken, which I think explains that lip. So, we got to these, and we're gonna hopefully even that out again with some new screws. Oh, that's satisfying, except that the drill's dying. And just like that, besides the mismatched color of screws, that is fixed. Maybe your guys' comments were right. Maybe I was just being like super lazy and lame. I was just like, I spent so much money on it that I'm like so protective of it that I didn't want to try to do something myself and make it worse, but I guess it's literally just wooden screws. Cause yeah, she's already looking way smoother and way flatter, and now we gotta go through that. The drill died. I would say that these little pillars are the next step, because that looks bad. A surprising amount of people were asking why it was raised, and there's a very simple explanation. So, the mini ramp over here, all raised, and I think all of these need some work, but if we go this way, you'll notice it's still raised, but not as much. And if you come all the way back here, you'll notice that it's not raised whatsoever, and it's because the ground wasn't level. Because the whole park is like 150 feet long, I think, it wasn't flat, so to make it flat, they had to slowly raise it and elevate it as it goes down. So that's why part of it's on pillars, part of it's not. Also, a ton of people were commenting saying, oh, you should have cemented a base first. It was like $30,000 to do that. I don't have that. We were balling on a budget, okay? We're making do with what we got. I have an idea. I'm just not sure if it's gonna work. Logically, this makes sense, right? You would think, so I just need to get enough pressure. Oh, I think it's working. I just don't want, like, there's no like jack point like there is on a car, so I don't know if it's like structurally sound. God, if that falls on my fingers, I'm losing my fingers. Oh, that works perfectly. Look at that. We have enough room to move the cement blocks as we need to kind of get them all looking good again, and not like that. I cleaned them up a little bit and just kind of lined everything up a little bit more, and now we hope that when we lower it, it just kind of... Oh yeah, way better. That's just trash. I'm gonna move that. You know, that's a little concerning, but that's just visual. That's nothing structural. Better. Not perfect, but better. Oh, this one was barely hanging on for dear life. Same with this one. These ones gotta get fixed ASAP. And lower it down. There she goes, much better. Boom, fixed, boom, fixed, boom, fixed, boom, fixed, boom, fixed, boom, boom, boom. Fixed. They're all way better, and they actually all have weight on them now, which is nice. That's fine. Upon further inspection of this, I'm kind of confused. I'm gonna undo all these and see if I can see anything in the plywood underneath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's gonna get really repetitive, isn't it? All done. All right. Oh yeah. Skate light's totally fine. Plywood underneath is wet and is beginning to rot. I think we all knew that would happen. I still just don't understand that. Like, it's like that grew or something, but that's not how that works, because that's screwed in, that's screwed in. What is causing that bulge? I get that a lot. I've been sitting here for a little bit trying to figure out like what to do, and I'm not a construction person, so I'm kind of lost here. I was gonna take this piece of plywood off, but I think it goes all the way under, so I'd have have to take off all this. I just don't feel like that. So what I'm gonna try to do, honestly, is I took these screws out. I'm just gonna take this support out, go grab the jack and jack this up, and honestly just dig a hole right here, put that further in so that sits flush with that, because I think that'll fix it. I just don't understand how that went up. That makes no sense to me. Oh, so I can tell you right now, these weren't designed to roll on dirt and it sucks, but ooh, look at how good that looks. Okay. Okay, well, the ramp's too high. I was afraid of that. I'm telling you, there's a right way to do things and a wrong way to do things. And the wrong way sometimes works. Look at that. I got a little piece of it under there. And I think we can get it high enough to do what I need to do. Maybe that looks so sketch. Look at that. We're free. Okay, tell me this isn't weird. Now that I jacked it up, this sits where it's supposed to be. Because it was there, but now that's jacked up, it's where it's supposed to be. So it's like, it somehow moved, but it was attached. So all I gotta do is re-drill it where it wants to be, and I think I fixed it. I'm a genius. I should go into woodworking. Look at that. We got no gap whatsoever. It's looking good. That is good. That's kind of ugly, but hey, it's good. We got no gap. Now, it's just a matter of re-screwing the moldy plywood and then putting the skate light over it like a band-aid. Look at that, the same angle as earlier, except there's no lump. Come look at it from the side, completely A-okay. Oh wait, it's right there. See, I wasn't even looking in the right place. You can see like a centimeter gap right now just because the skate light was so used to being pushed up, but after time it'll settle. I could add another screw right there if I want, but I want to avoid holes in the skate light. So that should settle soon. That is quite the improvement. This crack is where I'm stumped and I'm going to resort to the internet people, aka you guys, for advice. What doesn't make sense to me is there's no gap there and there's no gap here. Like space-wise, it's all flush, but here it looks all tight and compact, and there it almost looks like it shifted, but it didn't because the gap is the same over here. That does need to get fixed though, and that's gonna be, I guess, part 2 of this video. I don't know if I should jack it up there or just what the best plan of attack is, to be honest. I will say though, although it was super simple and I feel like an idiot for not doing it sooner, I am proud of what we accomplished today. All of this is looking way better. The hump is looking way better. All of this is looking way better. Pretty much everything up to the end of the rail right there. So from like here back is great. I'm super stoked on it. Finally got rid of that lump. I hated that lump. In part 2, we'll be fixing the other side of the skate park. Honestly though, if we go over here, it's just this. It's just that gap. Maybe I could work on fixing that if I really care, but that doesn't even matter. Everything back here looks surprisingly perfect. Like there's no bubbling or delamming or anything over here. So it's really just the A-frame, but the sun is setting, the drill is dead again, and I'm done. So handy men, handy women of the internet, help me fix that. The end.